And is brought to you by Ford. Going further so you can. And by Monster Energy. Unleash the beast. You can catch all the action of NASCAR on NBC with the NBC Sports app. Get closer with alternate camera angles, driver stats, and track information. Anytime, anywhere. And now with more on the 42 story, let's go back to Marty.
Well, Rick, the fourth time is the charm. Just checked in with NASCAR officials. Kyle Larson's car did finally just now pass inspection, so they're going to get to go qualify. But again, it took them 4 times to go through. And Steve, we've seen this year. I don't think it makes NASCAR very happy when you fail 3 times. It takes you 4 times to finally clear inspection. So I think we haven't heard the last of this 42 car from this weekend at Bristol and what might happen moving forward. Might be some penalties this week. Who knows?
Yeah, they've been working on taking practice and started taking second practice. Which can be short here. We saw rain really came into play, so we'll just have to see what NASCAR decides to do with this 42. We're going to have to see what kind of pace the 42 has when he gets on the track. He had decent pace earlier, even though Kyle Larson didn't like the way it drove. It had pretty good lap time.
Steve, every team seems like they want to be right on the edge to get whatever advantage they can possibly get. And it's a team like the 42 team that has to go through tech 3 times before they get everything within the specifications that they have to have them in.
Well, and it's a moving target. Jeff, I know this has happened to you in your career. You get in trouble. So now this week the conversation will be, we can't have that. We can't have that for our sponsors. We can't have that for our company. We need to be able to roll through inspection. We don't want the negative light on the company. Then as you start to be less competitive, then the conversation is, listen, we just can't push them through the first time. Look at the fast cars. They're having issues, so we have to make changes. So it's, it's no different than the start of a 100-yard dash, Rick. You got to be as close as you can to the gun to take whatever advantage you can take.
Well, it's interesting when you say that. The 42 and the 78 have seemed to be the most, penalized when it comes to going through technical inspection the most prior to qualifying. And you mentioned the fast cars are doing it. The 2 fastest this year have been the 78 and the 42.
I found it interesting. Kurt Busch was the first one on the racetrack. I think maybe he's just scuffing his tires. I think maybe he believes that they just want to get a lap on the tires. He only ran 1 lap. It was a slow lap. But remember, here you leave on the back straightaway, and you come and you start your lap. Only after running a half a lap, so you're not up to speed. So his lap time was way off, almost 2 seconds, but he quit and came onto pit road. So I think that was an effort just to scuff tires.
And one of the other questions that we'll have to answer throughout this qualifying session is what will happen with PJ1 that was put down earlier today, but then rain came. So these cars haven't been on the track since the rain went through, since they cleaned the track up. So really a new condition for them for this qualifying session.
So as you mentioned, Jeff, these cars are sitting, this is the end of the backstretch pit road. So they're pitted on the front stretch. You see all the cars backed in. They're yet to run. So when you leave, you go down through turns 1 and 2, come around, and you sit and you park on the backstretch. So that means you leave pit road with basically, a quarter lap or so to the start-finish line. So that first lap is really a throwaway. You're not going to do that. So, if we say they ran 2 laps, that's really 1 really good lap. Or if we say 3 laps, that's 2. So it's just one more unique thing. We talk about the chaos of Bristol. It's everywhere. It's the lack of garage all the way to the function and the layout of qualifying.
So this first round is 20 minutes long. And we saw in Xfinity Series qualifying earlier, with almost 5 minutes to go, there was still 17 to 20 cars that hadn't gone out for their first lap in that first 20-minute session, which ended up being the only session that they used for the Xfinity Series. But everybody waiting, and once again, it seems like they're waiting again, sitting on pit road, waiting for other cars to go out.
Yeah, and I think they're waiting just because you don't want to be the first one on the racetrack with this material. Like the PJ1, you can clearly see on the bottom of the racetrack, where it is. Joey Gase is right in the middle of it. You can see how dark it is on the left side and where the right side tires would be. And teams just don't want to be there. They want to find out what the racetrack's going to be like before they go make their run. So they're just going to wait. They're going to wait as long as they can. Hope some good cars go out and they can gauge themselves. I'm a little surprised, though, to be honest, because in Xfinity qualifying, it rained.
Right.
It rained before qualifying. They shortened qualifying. They dried the track. Kyle Busch went out and almost broke the track record. So that tells me that the track's not bad. But he did that later in the practice after more people have been on the racetrack. So I'm assuming that the drivers and the teams just feel like it's better after more cars have been on the racetrack.
Well, and the other thing is, this field will be separated by hundreds or thousands of a second, not tenths. So as you look to the sky, it's kind of broken cloudiness. Right now we're in a little bit of a cloud, but the teams will also look up there and try to find an advantage. Unique. Normally we'd say, oh, man, you want a cloud, you want the track to cool down. I'm not so sure with this traction compound if perhaps a little bit of sunshine doesn't warm it up to get temperature. We'll have to see if we get some sun breaking through the clouds, if that doesn't push the cars on the track. But the one thing that is for sure is with just over 15 minutes, we still have 40 cars that need to make time, really 39 maybe. I guess you could say Kurt Busch's first lap was a real attempt. But just remember this, folks. All these cars are choosing not to run when your favorite driver runs into traffic later, because it is small confines of a racetrack. You got to find a clear hole. And Jeff, as a race car driver, how much of a hole do you need? Like, if you can see a guy 3-4 car lengths in front of you, where does it start to become distracting or a detriment to what you're trying to do?
I think it's differing between drivers. I think some drivers don't care. Some other drivers get distracted. I think it really boils down to how natural of a qualifier you are. If you're a very good qualifier, you're in that rhythm quickly, it doesn't affect you. But if you're somebody that has to really focus and pay attention and really work hard as you're qualifying, you don't want any distractions whatsoever.
Let's go back down to Kelly.
And Rick, we've got one 7-time champion watching on another 7-time champion. That is motocross and supercross champion Ryan Dungey here as a guest of Jimmy Johnson. It's his first ever NASCAR race. He told me he was pretty pumped to finally get the invite. He announced his retirement at the end of the last season, but he's got his 7 championships across both supercross and motocross. He's really looking forward to being here for the race tomorrow night. I asked him if they're going to stick around for the Xfinity Series race, but guess what? They've got a fun ride planned. Who would have figured that? Anyway, really cool to have one of the stars on 2 wheels here watching our NASCAR stars.
Yeah, interestingly, Jimmy Johnson started off on 2 wheels. That was at a very young age. He was riding motorcycles. So you can see where that relationship between Ryan Dungey has grown as we see maybe the first serious attempt. No, not the first serious attempt at a qualifying run.
There is something about just I don't know if it's just common admiration or respect, but when you bring someone in from another discipline of motorsport, whether it's 4-wheeled or 2 here in the States or abroad, it just seems that while there's a unique sense to all of it, and NASCAR is very unique versus other forms of motorsport, there's still that competition. They understand what it takes to try to be at the top of your game. So Ryan Dungey, obviously, as Kelly reported, with 7 championships, he knows what it's like to be at the top.
So is that a 100-mile bike ride they're going on, or a?
Well, it's a little hillier here than it is in Michigan.
He said Jimmy said they got to take it a little bit easy tonight. The 500 laps around this place is pretty hectic, so it's going to be a nice leisurely stroll for whatever that means for Jimmy Johnson.
So like maybe 60 miles.
I was going to say his
I can tell you one thing: his leisurely stroll, I don't care if it's 10 miles, is faster than I'm going to want to go. So I'll probably opt out of that one.
We could ride Dungey's bike. Keep up.
The 48 has rolled out of his spot on pit road and is going to move around, but more than likely will get in line on the other side of the track. We'll see if he goes through the middle of these cars, and no, he'll get in line. Just like everyone else right now, waiting. Almost a game of poker. Waiting to see what kind of a hand they'll show. Joey Logano has won the last 2 night races here at Bristol. 2014, used that high line. And then the very next year, 2015, was able to capture the checkered flag. Last year, it went from a night race to a day race. So he has won the last 2 night races. Last year got rained out Saturday evening, and we raced on Sunday afternoon. As we take a look at the bubble drivers, Joey Logano is on the outside looking in right now, currently 18th. Only 16 make the playoffs. Logano has an encumbered win, which means it does not count toward the playoffs or making the playoffs. He got that at Richmond earlier this year. And so Joey Logano is in a situation where he's closing in on must win.
Well, and when you look at the bubble drivers, Joey Logano is at the bottom of that list at 18th. But I actually think Matt Kenseth, 16th, right above the cut line there. Of all of these 5 drivers, I thought his car looked the best in practice today. I thought he could run very consistent laps. As you showed, we showed the list of success. Joey Logano with those 2 wins. Well, Matt Kenseth had 4. So he definitely knows how to get it done around this racetrack. He's a short track. I know he has a storied NASCAR career, but he reminds me of a short track racer at heart. And I would be looking for this 20 car to run very, very well tomorrow night.
Joe Gibbs Racing seems to be very strong here this weekend. We've seen Denny Hamlin was the fastest in the first practice. Kyle Busch went out, was the fastest in the second practice. So already, Joe Gibbs Racing has shown a lot of strength here at Bristol. As we see 33 of Jeffrey Earnhardt, now he looks like he is taking a legitimate shot at qualifying. Let's go to Marty.
Rick, as the 33 car is on the racetrack, 10 minutes and counting, and you can imagine what all the spotters are talking about. Steve, what are they talking about? Clouds, right? Everybody right now is a meteorologist trying to predict when the clouds will come over, how long they'll stay. But I tell you what, time is winding down quick. We got a lot of cars to qualify, and then they're 10 minutes. It's going to go pretty fast. But the cloud is what everybody's waiting for, as you guys mentioned a moment ago.
Well, it was here. Now it seems to be sunny on the racetrack. You see right there, a big slide from Jeffrey Earnhardt.
And that's not making everybody feel good. You know, you got spotters watching, you have crew chiefs watching, the cars coming off the corner sideways, and that makes you just want your driver waiting longer. You know, the drivers can't see it; they're on the back straightaway, but everybody just watching it, when they see those cars slide around like that, it just gives them no confidence whatsoever.
Hey guys, here's that cloud coming in right now that everyone's talking about, so I expect the track to get quite busy here in moments.
Oh yeah, Marty. And the fact that there's only 9 minutes left in this session.
Yeah, first heavy hitter right here, Kyle Larson. He's rolling out on the racetrack, and this looks like a legitimate run. This doesn't look like just a tire scuff or something like that. I think this has Q-Run written all over it.
First lap, 15:78 for Larson.
And that was that up to speed lap just off the backstretch. This is the first real at speed lap.
See right around the bottom of the left sides, all over the apron.
15 flat, 15.028 for Larson. Track record, 14.573.
Went a little slower on that third lap, which was actually his second real lap.
Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Going to struggle today for the 88. Looks like the struggle continues as he runs about a 15:30, so about 0.3 of a second off Kyle Larson.
Yeah, that didn't sound bad, right? 0.3 of a second, but here, that's an eternity.
That's really close at Watkins Glen or Pocono or Michigan. I won't say really close, but closer.
Trevor Bayne. That's the Ford EcoBoost, number 6 here at Bristol Motor Speedway, and Bayne is in 4 laps. He is second quickest.
Man, this place just looks like it's so polite and so tame with 4 cars on the racetrack at the same time. I know what we're getting ready to see here later tonight and tomorrow night. It is nowhere near this calm.
Polite and tame. Two words normally not used when describing Bristol Motor Speedway.
I know that way, they're yellow.
And under control. You know, up here, everything looks controlled and kind of slow and easy, but I promise you, in that car, it is anything but.
Austin Dillon also out on the track.
Newman up to second.
So Larson's 15.028, the fastest, as we're under 7 minutes to go in round 1.
See Harvick up the racetrack compared to Kyle Larson. We saw Kyle Larson just a minute ago, just left sides, never left the bottom. I think Kyle, right there, you see why Harvick left the bottom. Looked like he got free on corner entry. Just couldn't turn the wheel. Not able to commit to the throttle. Not a good lap. This lap should be better. Car makes more grip on that second lap. See the car much more stable, much more secure, able to go to the throttle much sooner and with much more aggression up to 8. Still not a lap they're looking for.
Jimmy Johnson, 3rd. Landon Castle, 11th. There's Jimmy Johnson coming off the track now, 48. Kurt Busch, the 41. He could muster 11th. The top 24 will advance to round 2. There's Ryan Blaney.
Ryan Blaney was fastest in the final practice.
Kyle Busch on the right side of your screen.
But Ty Dillon up to 3rd.
If he did that running 1 lap less than the cars around him, that might actually help later.
Surprisingly, still running.
Now the 26th have gone.
You heard right there, that was the radio of, Kyle Busch. It's good, it's good, it's good. Top of the chart, there's no reason to run another lap.
Yeah, I misspoke. Ty Dillon did not run a 3rd lap. He only ran the 2.
14:76 for Kyle Busch. That's the fastest lap that has been run this weekend at Bristol.
I love this shot right here, right off the front bumper of that 20 Matt Kenseth in his Toyota. It just shows that compound very well, but it also just shows what this racetrack is really like. That sounded good back to the gas, Jeff.
Yeah, you can tell he shut it down. Got into turn 1. You can see he was up the racetrack. Felt like 4th would be enough to move on into round 2.
Jamie McMurray.
Now we're going to start to see some big names getting down close to that cut line. We have Dale Jr. in 21st, Allmendinger 19th. You mentioned Kevin Harvick. He's now in 18th.
And Kurt Busch in 24th. Earnhardt Jr. Now Kurt Busch in 25th.
Stenhouse Jr. jumps up to 9th. David Reagan is 16th. Earnhardt Jr. now 24th. About to be bumped out of the top 24. Clint Boyer in the 14. Will ride right on his helmet. Boyer is now 15th. McMurray ended up 3rd. Eric Jones 5th. Harvick now 24th. Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s dropped all the way to 28th now, and Kurt Busch is 29th.
See what Hamlin can do. He was fast in practice. One of the guys we paid attention to that we think has a shot to win tomorrow night.
Now we're comparing to 24th, Rick, as you mentioned there. So it's against Almirola. That's what they have to beat to get to the next round. And already Harvick has been eliminated. This moves Almirola below the cut line.
Now it's Paul Menard that's sitting 24th. Danica Patrick out on the track.
Up to 22nd.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. has made his way back out onto the track, trying to break back into the top 24. He runs the high line.
Yeah, I don't think he did that on purpose.
I was wondering what you thought there.
Yeah, you drove in the corner in turn 3 and it just didn't stick. It was way up the racetrack.
Well, you heard him earlier tell Greg Ives on the radio, listen, buddy, I'm just trying not to get a backup car out. So there were some big moments in practice earlier.
Across the stripe there. Not much better. He's still 30th.
This just has not gone well.
Paul Menard has now slid down to 25th. Dale Earnhardt Jr. on that run still does not improve. 30th.
This is the car that interests me. Really shocked to see these guys this far down. 27th position, Harvick. It's really the beginning of his run right here. Really not able to hold the very bottom of the racetrack, kind of up the racetrack in the middle of the corner.
90 seconds left.
I don't think Harvick's going to do it. really surprised to see Kevin Harvick and his team not advancing to round 2.
His teammate, Kurt Busch, 31st.
And Clint Boyer, 17th. Danica Patrick, 22nd.
There's Kurt Busch trying once again. He's 31st. He needs to break into the top 24 if he wants to make it into round 2.
Now it's running 8 laps in this session, so it's just continuing to get more difficult.
And this makes the race more difficult. It just does. This track is so hard to pass on. It's so easy to get in a wreck. So easy to, just for things that go bad. And now
he's close.
Yeah, very close. 25th.
Can he do it this time? He's in the green. Just barely in the green. Can he get there? Kurt Busch jumps up to 23rd. 30 seconds to go in round 1.
AJ Allmendinger is trending the right way. Can he get off of turn 4 carrying that speed? It looks like he will.
That put Busch back on the bubble.
Allmendinger 21st. Kurt Busch still now 24th. Could get bumped out. Paul Menard's on the track.
Trevor Bayne has definitely bumped him out. He improved all the way up to 16th.
Trevor Bayne goes 16th. That knocks Kurt Busch back out of the top 24.
Time expired, Rick. I don't see anyone else at speed, so that'll be it. Wow. Big names missing round 2 qualifying.
Kurt Busch, Paul Menard, Eric Almirola, Kevin Harvick, Dale Earnhardt Jr. all will not advance to round 2.